Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Bitcoin market review for the October the 14th, 2022. And as usual, before we get into the price section, I want to show you the economic calendar for yesterday. And we can see we had two Heimberg news events, one at 8:30, or actually two at 8:30 and then one at 10 a.m. But like two times yesterday when we had Heimberg news events, 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. And if we look in the price section, we can see the 8:30 candle was this one, which first pushed lower, then started to rally higher. And then the 10 a.m. candle is this huge down close candle right here. So that's the impact of the high impact news events right there. And starting off exactly at this right here, in this up move, we can see we actually had a setup on the 15-minute here. From this low to this high. I mean, first this high was broken, so we had a market structure break or market structure shift on the 15-minute time frame. Then price came back down, filled. We have a fair value gap right here. Right here. We filled that. Actually, let me redraw that because then we don't have the text inside. And what we can see is price came down, filled the fair value gap, came into a discount, and touched this down close candle right here. And let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. The bodies of these candles respect the body of this candle. Like if I put my cursor on the lows of these candles or the lows of these bodies, you can see they respect this candle as well. And then price starts to push up, and then I'm going to show it to you on a lower time frame. Actually, maybe we have to go lower even. Actually, let's go to a 1 minute chart. And there you can see what the 8:30. I mean, we already started to push up, and then 8:30 came in, pushed lower, took out these lows, even took out this low, but didn't take out this low, so it went all the way into this order block right there, and then it starts to rally upwards. So that's a nice setup on the 15-minute. And we then ran up to go, not just use this line right now, to go above this high. So we took the liquidity above these highs over here, and then price starts to reverse again. But that, like, even though we had the 8:30 news event, which took the liquidity below these lows, this low right here, or this candle, this is still a valid trade on the 15-minute. So yeah, just a nice setup on the 15-minute, and then as I said, as soon as we ran these highs, price started to reverse and go lower afterwards. But before we get to that, I want to go into a lower time frame and show you some setups here, as we had some setups there. Just 1 second. It's on the 3-minute, the first one, and it's right here in this down leg. You can see price pushed lower, then consolidated for a bit, and then pushed lower once more, another leg down. And in this down leg, we can see when we pull up the fib from the low to the high, first price comes back into a premium, it reprices this fair value gap right here, fully fills it, stays in the fair value gap, and then pushes down once more, taking out this low, consolidating a bit, and then pushing down once more right here. So that's a nice setup on the 3-minute, this down leg, push up back into a premium, filling the fair value gap, then pushing down lower again. And actually this push down lower can be seen as another trade setup. If we take the fib tool, sorry, not the fair value gap, the fib tool from the low to the high, from the high to the low, excuse me, we can see, actually let me draw it out like this, naughty note. There's actually two fair value gaps right here. The first one, and then there's the second one up here, which price doesn't go into. We can see price pushes down, takes out this low, goes back up, fills the fair value gap, pushes into a premium with these three candles, goes back down into discount, pushes up into premium once more, and then eventually breaks down once more, taking out this low. So this is also a setup right here. As we can see, price filled the imbalance or filled the fair value gap, pushed into a premium a couple of times, and then reversed down lower once more, prior to then reversing, taking out this high and these highs over here. Okay, so that's the early morning setups done. And now we wanna focus on this down leg over here, where most of the setups then occurred, like on the downside. Because as you can see on the 15-minute, the 8:30 news event, like after this 8:30 news event, price repriced higher above these highs all the way to the above the daily open, and then price started to break down and reprice lower. And in this repricing to the downside, we had a couple of good bearish setups, a good short setups, and first one is right over here, from this high to this low right here. It's just a little bit lower than this one, so we take it. We also have a fair value gap up here, which is quite in a deep premium, but yeah, price comes back up into the fair value gap, into a deep premium, then consolidates around equilibrium a little bit, pushes up once more into the fair value gap, and then finally sells off. And as you can see, this move down went all the way close to this low but didn't yet break it. So what we have right here is a setup close to liquidity, because liquidity is down below here and down below here. So this is a high probability setup as price moves back up and then eventually crashes down, going for the liquidity below this low and this low. So yeah, quick and nice setup. And it's also after the news event, so the news event was already priced in on this down close candle right here, the 10 a.m. candle. This was the news event, and then what we usually see is price consolidate a little bit after news drop, which it does here. And yeah, on this consolidation it goes back up into the fair value gap, which is in a premium, and then it pushes down, taking out these lows. So yeah, just a quick and nice setup. And now we go to the next one, which is on the 3-minute, and we already see it. This was the down leg we just looked at right here, these candles. Then price starts to push back up and then go back down. On this down move, we have this low broken right here, so that's why it qualifies. We have a market structure shift, if you want to say, or market structure break, but we have a low broken quite volatilely, and we have two fair value gaps actually. First one and second one up here. We draw out the fig tool from high to low right here, and what we have right here is we have two lows right here, so there's liquidity below these lows. This down move didn't break these lows, so we can expect price wanting to run these. So we can expect price to go lower. So what price does after breaking this low, it pushes back up into the fair value gap, fills the first fair value gap, pushes up into the second fair value gap, fills this, touches this up close candle, which is the order block, just touches it with these two wicks, and then reverses down, breaking this low, and then eventually moving lower. And this move lower, actually in this move lower we have another setup, but I want to show that to you on the 5-minute, because it's a little bit cleaner on the 5-minute. So This right here was the setup we just looked at. There we can see price consolidates a little bit prior to lunch and then drops down once more, and then this drop down is where the next setup occurs. We have a fair value gap right here. We pull out the fib tools from the high to the low. We do it like this, and we can see price then pushes back up, fully reprices this imbalance, pushes it to quite a deep premium, respects this up close candle on this first one. As you can see, the bodies of these candles fully respect this body right here. If I put my cursor on here, comes back down into this candle and pushes up into a premium once more, going a little bit deeper into this order block, consolidating a bit, and then eventually it breaks down, going lower once more. And here we consolidated above these candles over here, above these down close candles, which were the order blocks, and then eventually we pushed through and taking out this low and this low over here. Didn't fully go for this low, but yeah, nice setup on the 5 minute. Took quite a while, but this was because like this, it came back up during lunch, so this is all during lunch, and then eventually at like 2 p.m. it starts to drop. So this consolidated for quite some time, but this is due to lunch, because the price action during lunch is, you know, there's not that much liquidity, so it can take some time. And on to the next one. Again, we drop down to the 3 minute. And what we can see here, this is the down move after lunch, right here. Price comes back up, like this is actually, you could say this is a setup right here. From this high to this low, because price pushes back up into a premium, touches these up close candles, respects them, and then moves down lower. But this is not the setup I want to show to you. Actually, it's this one over here, because there we have a cleaner fair value gap and even cleaner interaction with the order block. So what we can see is price moves back up into a deep premium, repricing this imbalance, and then as you can see, the bodies of these candles respect this body of the up close candle, which is the order block. So touches the order block there, goes into a discount, and then pushes up once more, again into this order block, and then finally it starts to sell off, taking out this low, pushes back up again, and then goes lower once more. So another nice setup, but as you can see, liquidity is drying out because it's a Friday, and usually on like Fridays after like 3-4 p.m. price starts to dry out a bit. And what I mean with that is there's not that much liquidity left in the market. But it's still worth showing that we have quite some setups there, and that like price delivery is still clean. And this is why I'm showing you the next two setups as well. This one formed at like 16:30. You can see we have this down push right here, and then price moves back up into this fair value gap, which is in a deep premium, like pushes back up, respects this up close candle right here quite nicely. Wait a second, isn't that exactly the same setup I just showed you? That's not. Yeah, as you can see, price first push down, takes out this low, comes back up into a premium, fills the fair value gap. Like the bodies of the candles fully respect the fair value gap, only the wicks go through, respects this order block, and then it drops down once more, taking out this low. And in this down drop we actually have another setup. So if you would have missed the greater setup right here, which is this down move with this consolidation here, which fills the fair value gap prior to then dropping down, there's actually, once it starts to drop down, there's another setup, which is also quite clean. Right here with the value gap, you can see price takes out this low. So we have the market structure shift right there. Price that comes back up, fills this fair value gap, or doesn't fill it, goes into the fair value gap, and then pushes down once more, taking the liquidity from these lows. And then it's already like 6 p.m. and then you can see there's not that much liquidity left, as quite tight price action and price consolidates into the close. You can see the size of the candles starts to decrease the later it gets. Quite big candles right here, still quite big candles, and then you get smaller, and after this point they are really small right here. So there's not that much liquidity and volatility left in the market at this time of day. But still clean setups, and that's why I wanted to show them to you, as they are very clean setups on the 5-minute and the 3-minute time frame. And I have to admit, the 3 and 5-minute are the time frames I like the most, because usually setups form very like the cleanest on them, and they don't take that long to form. So yeah, this concludes this week's price action. I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment if you have any suggestions. And yeah, I see you guys again. Be safe. Bye.